Hi Scorpio, and welcome to your love reading here. Long story short, I just did the all signs love reading where I look into singles, committed, and those casually dating. And then when I was writing in the timestamps, I noticed, did I forget Scorpio? Apparently I did. So you're getting your own separate video here. Yes, you are. So you may even get a little bit longer for that, right? Let's see. Scorpio, let's start by pulling an overall energy here for the Scorpios in love. In love, in love, in love, in love. The world in the reverse. Scorpio being stalked by the world in the reverse. Alright, this is your stalker. Alright, show me how is it playing out for the singles. Ten of Swords, how is it playing out for those committed? It's playing out as Five of Cups. How is it playing out for those who are casually dating someone? Hanged Man. Okay, I'm gonna do a bit more clarification with you because why not? Let's turn this into your stalker reading. You know what? Let's turn this into your stalker reading, which is the world in the reverse. So it is, as I've said so many times here for you. Something here is not fully done yet, right? In order to close out a chapter here, something needs to be released, and it shows up as though it's something of an emotional value, still holding on to something here. When I look at your single energies, someone here could have gone behind your back. Someone here could have basically done something that left you in your head. It left you worried, it left you stressed, they put the swords in your back. But the good news is that the energy is over. This is completed. Being in this energy is completed here. But there's something here, however, to be learned from it, which is probably have something here to do with recognizing what it is that you want, basically seeing long term in things, not just living for the moment, living for what it is that you want. Long term, identifying to a certain degree, right? Not that you have to plan out your life like in boxes and 20 years forth, but having a firm understanding it is that where is it that you want to go? What kind of energies is it that you want to attract in, so you don't end up in this here, right? And then also being clear about it, so you then actually cut out the unreliable energies when they show up, not just giving it a chance and saying, who knows, maybe it will turn out into something, but cutting it out. For those of you who want a commitment, we are seeing here a situation where you or someone you're dealing with may take themselves a little bit too seriously. There is a sadness, there is a someone here having their back turned. They're focused upon what have been lost. They're focused upon the negative, right? The negativity, the negative emotions. That's a really wonderful energy to dance with, isn't it? And that brings forth this energy here of being taken for granted. It's difficult to see the positivity, to see the light of coming to terms with some sort of a loss that have happened, even if it's like if your person have suffered some sort of a loss, but by them being stuck in it. Of course, take the time it takes to grieve if that's if that's the situation, right? But to be stuck in it for a prolonged period can actually drain the relationship. So the energies right now is thankfully just temporary energy, but it shows up as potentially, right, being more significant, which have to do with coming out of a little bit of a depressing energy. So there can be so the energies can lighten up, there can be more harmony, so to say. For those of you who are in a complicated situation, a commitment that's not particularly stable, so to say, right? This is casual dating. Someone here is definitely not ready to commit. They are in a position where they feel tied up by a situation. The truth is that there is something here that you will not have full control over. Be it you that you are looking at your circumstances and you don't feel as though you're ready to commit, right? And then just be careful here of engaging with these casual connections, because if there's no long term there, if you're not ready to commit to the situation for long term, then don't give anyone hope here, right? If those of you who are single, you will probably recognize this energy of feeling used because of being in a commitment with someone here who's actually not ready to commit here. Casually dating, there's an energy pulling back, looking at things from a different perspective here. And those who are committed, I am seeing here I'm seeing your Scorpio obsessed energy sometimes coming. It feels heavy there, right? But let's see. What do we have for the world? Did I pull that? The mother. There's love, there's kindness, there's caring, but there's also not being true. There's being truthful completely. There is a reluctance here to see the empty spaces of seeing what could happen, what can actually grow in your love. It's almost like a little bit of reluctance of closing out the chapter. It's like the mother here, the mother energy, someone who's nurturing and kind, always wanting to control the situation, but letting go. All mums, dads, whatever, but the mother here, right? That's the mum energy. She knows that she has to release her children so they can grow up independent, right? So they can see the potential themselves, so she doesn't create all their potential. That is that, right? It is this boundary, it is this closing around something, so there's a new, some sort of a creative energy, so something here can, an ending, so something here can start anew, something here can start with a fresh slate, right? Someone here is, however, not happy. It could have been a failed romance, failed long-distance romance, some sort of a communication, something here having gone awry, basically, and that energy is still lingering. Now, let's take this here and do your stalker reading. Show me the Scorpio. Stalker reading. And energy here is coming back. It is someone from the past coming back here to close out this chapter. In the recent past, we have all the reconciliation energy. Something here coming back to be closed out. A chapter closing out. This is... Well, it takes time for this to play out, alright? It makes sense that it shows up. But because, yeah, it just takes time here. In the recent past, I am seeing some sort of a harsh critique taking place. It's almost as though an energy here have been triggered. Something here being brought up into the light to be looked at. And right now it's not seen, it's what needs to be looked at is not really being looked at clearly. It is here to be seen, it is very evident. If you were to look around you, but you may see what something here needs to be shine light on, something that has a toxic nature to it. But what you're doing is that you are pulling back, you are not really dealing with it, you're controlling yourself more. It may actually be your environment here where we have a situation that's no strings attached. It doesn't really bring the committed energy with it. Maybe they don't feel safe enough to jump into something completely. They don't have that confidence. They bring in doing so some sort of toxicity with them. Right? If you have to be the mum for someone here, always have to be the mum. And there's not enough harmony. They don't introduce you to their family. They don't bring this stable energy here. They're always about the being patient. Just pay attention to it because it can actually bring some sort of a toxicity here, right? So pay attention to how your environment is working with you as well. In terms of closing this out, there's a possible an attempt here of reconciliation. Could be a Capricorn, could be a Leo, Sagittarius for that matter. But pay attention here to how things are actually being spoken out loud. Because the challenge here is also getting out of the boredom. It may be the boredom here have actually played out such a big role in the situation that it's become toxic. That the trust may be a bit of a challenge here. It's difficult to reconcile if you cannot trust the person. Right? What we have in your hopes and fears, I see some of you trying to block this. Or is it that you're actually trying to fight for it still? And that's the thing. Do you know what it is that you're fighting for? I'm seeing you get a wish fulfillment. But I'm also seeing you sitting there questioning whether or not it is actually what you wanted. Does it have this long-term potential? We have Three of Swords in the reverse showing up, so be mindful of that. Be mindful of an ending of a sort here taking place. For some of you, it is that you are trying to push away toxic energy from your commitment here. And it may actually happen, especially if it is that you're pushing away the immature energy. But in doing so comes this pain as well, right? It comes because then you have to say goodbye to immature ways yourself. Because that comes this long-term stability. For there to be this long-term commitment, then you have to give up that single energy, right? So if that is really what you want, pay attention to it, and then be mindful of the feeling of giving up that sort of freedom. It's not because you're giving up your freedom because you're still free. It's just that when you are in a couple, you have certain commitments. There's another person here that's relying on you to show up in that commitment. When you have no strings attached, no one have that expectation to you in a committed energy, right? So for instance, you don't have to text, you don't have to let someone know where you are, you're coming home or something like that. But when you're in a commitment, there's another person here who's attached to you, their emotions, their future, they attach their future to you as well, right? They may even start seeing a future, planning a future together. So you sort of have some sort of a responsibility there. Pay attention to that, because if that's not what you want, then be honest about it. It also takes work, right? It takes work to keep a commitment going. And let's see here, do I see you wanting to fight it by pushing away the toxicity, or what is it? Is it you trying to push it away? It's up for you to determine this. What I do see is basically a decision being made, and it's does come with a little bit of pain, because it comes with this saying no to a particular lifestyle. It's either saying no to being in a commitment or saying no to being single. And here we have a reflective energy. If there's something here that you're going to get a wish fulfillment, but pay attention to whether or not it's actually what it is. Is it really what you want? Right? It's like pissing your pants. It's almost an energy of sort of getting what it is that you want, and then so later on realizing, was it really what you want? Was it really what you wanted? To reconcile with an energy that didn't show up as being fully committed to you. They weren't ready. Or you weren't ready. You tell me. I'm not saying to not be in a commitment. I'm just saying here, this is getting a wish fulfillment, but at the same time there is a loss of a sort in it. Alright, that is what I have for you. It's basically winning the fuckboy, fuckgirl, and then 3 months later they're showing up as not being able to commit. I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but probably for some, right? You take it as it resonates. For some it is here. For some it is committing to an energy that will pay attention to whether or not they're going to give you headaches, or whether or not they will be there for you, right? If that makes sense. Can they live up to their words? And actually also figuring out, is it really what you wanted? Is it really what you wanted? Do you want to be in that form of commitment? Maybe it's you that has this issue here, or issue not have this energy in you that you don't want to be committed to it. Alright, so that's what I have for you, Scorpio. Hope you got anything from it, even though it was a bit of a challenge there. Sorry for forgetting you. Now I remembered you. See you. Take care.